Hi guys, so today I'm going to be discussing We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. This is actually a reread of the book for me. One of the things I think is super amazing about it is that the book is only 50,000 words somehow. It's really short. If you don't know, 50,000 words is about as short as novels get. There's actually a challenge to write a novel in November, like it's National Novel Writing Month, and the challenge is to write 50,000 words in the month of November. So, like, it's very short, and it's really good for how short it is. And honestly, like, I think writing novels more compact could be a really good thing, and also a quicker way to write them. Uh, you know, more isn't always better. But one of the main things I want to discuss is about if Mirren, Gat, and Johnny, if they're ghosts or if they are totally completely imagined by Katie. Um, I This is actually a reread for me. The first time I read the book, I really thought she imagined them. I actually didn't think they were ghosts at all. And then as I was reading up on it, I saw a lot of people thought they were ghosts for a couple of reasons. For one, Taft calls her in the beginning and says that Cuddletown is haunted. Cuddledown is haunted. So there's some stuff like that maybe hints toward them being ghosts. Um, One thing I saw that hints toward it is that Gat lectures her about the names of the staff. So if he were imaginary, it would mean that Katie knew the names of the staff and was lecturing herself about it and somehow didn't know at that moment, and maybe was replaying a past conversation. But more likely is it's just the ghost of Gat. One thing I thought maybe that went toward the other side was, maybe Mirren being sick and vomiting so much could mean that it's Katie's subconscious, but that could also be a ghost doing that whenever Katie's getting closer to the truth. But um, one thing I also thought that maybe could hint toward them being imaginary is that them making that big mess. I don't know if ghosts can touch things. I guess in this world ghosts could, but whatever. It could be either or. But the reason, at least the first time around, I really thought they should be imaginary is that it just makes the whole story more powerful if she's like imagining them versus them like actually existing on like another realm. But on the reread, if they're ghosts, I don't mind it as much. I thought it still worked really well and it was really powerful. It's just a really good book. I think everything about this book is really good. Like the world building and the pacing and the characters, it's just all fantastic. One Easter egg I noticed, but like, I mean, actually, before I get onto that, if I ever end up, making this video public, which I haven't done with any of my reviews so far, let me know in the comments, I guess, if you think they're ghosts or imaginary or whatever. Um, One of the Easter eggs I noticed is that in the very first story she tells, like her version of a fairy tale, it's very clear that the story is based on something like King Lear, which was my first thought on the reread now that I've read King Lear, which is basically the king has his three daughters and asks to see which one loves him the most before he divides up his land. And then literally like two chapters later, she gives away her copy of King Lear. So it's really obviously like a nod of like this part is based on King Lear, and I really like King Lear, so I liked that little Easter egg, that little nod. It's very good. So I really like this book. I care less if they're imaginary or ghosts now. I think it was such a hard hitting twist and reveal. It was really cool to reread it knowing the twist at the end. Um, and like it was still a really good experience, just a totally different one. I read all the conversations differently. I noticed all the subtext. Really cool. I recommend if anyone has just read it once to maybe read it again in a couple years. But yeah, thank you guys.